Mr. Taki Karras.
You are the exterior design manager of the Cadillac XTS that's made its debut here in LA today. What are the defining design elements of the exterior design that you can tell us about?
Sure.
Perhaps you can walk us through the car.
Sure. First I'd like to talk a little bit about art and science philosophy. You'll notice, excuse me, with the first generation CTS, it was our stake in the ground for that design vocabulary. That vehicle was very sheer, had very crisp edges. This car is probably on the bookend of what we believe is the art portion of the philosophy. You'll notice on the front of the vehicle a lot of feature lines that are still very crisp, but the surfaces between those feature lines are very refined. There's a lot of crown in the surfaces, very subtle. Also on the front end of the vehicle and around the whole vehicle, you notice our trim strategy from an exterior perspective is that we use ultra bright chrome, very minimal. We use satin chromes and even more satin layers of chrome within the textures here. On a close read, this is a unique grille to the platinum trim level. It's got, of course, multi-textural elements, but from a 10-foot distance, the chrome is a very flush, modern appearance. You know, the goal with this car is to achieve a very modern, athletic, dynamic interpretation of what a large luxury sedan could be. A few of the critical DNA elements to Cadillac in the front of the vehicle are the vertical lighting. You'll notice these lamps here will be the first car to have our signature element both day and night on the front of the vehicle. You know, we're used to seeing that on the rear end of our Cadillacs, and now the new technology affords us the opportunity to really define the front end of the vehicle by our vertical signatures. As you walk around the vehicle, probably the biggest statement in terms of overall proportion of the vehicle is the fact that it has a very sleek profile. Really what drove that is the interior requirements for comfort, opulence, space, visibility. All those things really drove the proportion of the vehicle. We wanted an efficient use of overall length to interior efficiency. So the reality is, you know, luxury consumers don't know what compromise is, and that presents a challenge to us. They want all the comfort, but they want the very dramatic styling that they expect in this kind of a car. So to do that, we really stretch the upper of the vehicle. We added a 6th window on this car, something not traditionally found on recent Cadillacs. And the proportion of the 19-inch and 20-inch wheels that are available on this car really support the athletic quality and make it a very modern, dynamic, youthful statement. The bright work along the DLO, you'll notice, is chamfered and has some tailoring to it. It's not just a traditional aluminum molding. And the authentic use of materials, both interior and exterior, translate to aluminum, both on the DLO trim itself here, you'll notice the chamfer I was talking about, as well as aluminum that tracks all the way into the mirror. You know, we weren't going to settle for anything less than authentic material all over the vehicle. Another signature element that's going to be unique to this vehicle and very distinctive in the market is we have signature lighting on the A surface of our door handles. Those lights will identify lock and unlock sequence from your fob, so that'll be something unique, especially, you know, in a dark parking lot where you'll be able to see your vehicle from the side, and very distinctive. In terms of refinement, and I talked a little about the art portion of our philosophy. So you'll notice on this car the surfacing is much more fluid, much more refined, much more sophisticated. Even the corners of the vehicles are more rounded than some of our previous Cadillacs, and really the intent was to keep your eye going around the whole car at all times. Vertical signatures, the lamps present some awkward aesthetic challenges to us. You know, sometimes it artificially stops your eye, and we made a very, using our centerline crease and the rounded corners, we wanted to make a sophisticated approach to this thing. on the rear of the vehicle, you'll notice some very unique, distinctive Cadillac traits. Of course, our vertical lighting. What will be new about our vertical lighting here is that the execution of our light signature will be the same both front and rear on this vehicle. We use the same technology. The intent is to have a very cohesive look across the whole vehicle. Another thing is our chimsel, something distinctive to the Cadillac range. It's not only a Cadillac DNA element, but we also use it as an aero device. We optimized the position of the corner of the chimsel to maximize coefficient of drag. We spend a lot of time in the tunnel making sure that we optimize them. Again, you'll notice a very strong, prominent centerline crease, but between the creases, the volumes of the surfaces are much more sculptural. So I think for overall the vehicle needs to look very dramatic, very fluid, yet still have the DNA of where our art and science philosophy is. And I think we managed to capture that.
Thank you very much, Taki. I appreciate it.